Hi guys, today we can talk about Meghan Markle's podcast. This is the 7th installment, and this time she invited actress and writer or comedian Issa Rae, as well as comedian Ziwe, and another professor, Professor Emily Bernard, invited to talk about the trope of the angry black woman. Yes, that trope that cannot be shaken off of the branding of black women. They're talking about that. Any black woman has had to experience the angry black woman description or be put in that situation. What they're saying is that as a black person, you're very aware of the fact that if you get emotional, you're going to be described as angry. People look at you as if you were going to maybe kill someone or something, but they're not going to allow you the humanity of being angry. Even more so when you're famous, because you're going to be put on the international stage, on the public stage. That's where you would be judged and also cancelled. It reminds me of what I said in my video with Serena Williams when she complained about a point that she should have had, but the arbitrary cancelled. She was upset, she was emotional, but she was described as angry in all the media. Whereas another player, this time male and white, was not and never described as angry. And he was actually praised for making his voice heard, and people were trying to find excuses. And this time is specifically about black women and the fact that being angry is a label, is a trope that has been stuck to them, and something that they cannot shake because of the perspective and the idea of other people have about her. Well, basically, when the non-black person sees a black woman, there's always that apprehension in the eyes of how things will go. They're always tiptoeing around you when telling you things, hoping that you're not going to go mad, you're not going to explode. And that insidious labeling that makes some black women, sometimes having to change or adapt their behavior. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Basically, if you're a black woman, whenever you go to a place where they are non-black women, you will have at a certain point to change your attitude, in the sense that you have to model it depending on the environment you're going to or the people that will be in the room. You're not going to be yourself. Yourself being happy, joyful, emotional, telling things the way they are, being bold. But whenever you try to do that, you'll be told that you are angry, you're mean. You should not be so emotional. You should not take things so seriously or be so intense about things, right? So that's what they're talking about. They're talking about in this podcast, and it's with examples given by the woman I just quoted a few minutes ago. And they're talking about their strategy or the way they try to go around it and how they're fighting those archetypes, those tropes, and those labeling. And they're talking about how that trope shaped them. What I liked about this interview is they talk about how Insecure started. If you don't know what Insecure is, it was a YouTube web series done by Issa Rae. She explained how it started, and it started off of the fact that she wanted to present other examples of black people's behavior, attitudes, way of being, way of behaving, that black people were normal people like you and me, right? And she explains that very well. She talks about her background, which is quite interesting. They share something in common with Meghan Markle. And Meghan Markle in that says also that she's African. I'm going to post another video about Dora Ragland, what she is, whether she's white or black, because some people have been quite confused about that. But off of that topic, Meghan Markle confirms here that she's 42% or 43% Nigerian and some other black. So she's definitely mixed race. She's not a quarter black like some people have been saying online. So I wanted to talk about that. It was quite funny, especially with Ziwe. Ziwe was a funny girl. How she talked about her life, her parents, how she's unapologetic, how she behaves. So all that in a very friendly, sisterly manner, with Professor Emily Bernard explaining where those prejudices come from or how it's actually applied in society. It's quite interesting. Like I said, I'm not going to go into describing what I heard, but I would advise you to go. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's getting better and better with Meghan Markle. It's so precious these moments of talk, being able to talk about black women without feeling guilty. And the funny thing is, it invites other people, even non-black people, to listen. It's not criticizing, it's not putting the blame on someone. It's just explaining a situation so that there's a better understanding on how it affects the person who is being labeled, right? So I really did enjoy it. And I loved Maya Angelou's poem she recited at the end. I'm not going to read it here because I want you guys to go. And I think it's a shade to all the criticism that she's received. You know, the fact that, she was called angry, she was called demanding, she was said to be bullying people, whereas she's just making her point understood. She was just making sure that she was clear and she was giving clear instructions so that there wouldn't be any misunderstanding. But I think it was a shade that was thrown to the press or in the media or the naysayers or the Meghan Markle is this, Meghan Markle is that type of comments that she received. That's how I understood it. It was really good. So I hope I was able to translate what I heard, if I can say so, to you guys. And I surely would invite you to go and support the Duchess, to listen to that podcast. I think it's among the best of the podcast. I always say that for all the podcasts, right? But my favorite so far is this one, then the Mindy Kaling, and then the one with Dragon Lady Trope, the one with Mariah Carey, and then the one with Serena Williams. Yeah, I mean, I love them all. It's getting definitely better and better, and you see that Meghan Markle is getting the hang of it. She is better at posing her voice, at, making her people, the invited, feel comfortable. And I like the way that whenever she says something, they agree to that. And that what makes the difference between a good podcast and a bad one. I hope I was able to, you understand what I mean, right? I know English is not my first language, but I hope that you get what I mean. So let me know what you think. Please go and listen to the podcast and come back and let me know what you thought about it. Hope you liked the video. Feel free to click on like if it's the case. Subscribe for more videos and click on the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.